Yes, good evening to the world. Peace and blessings. We are here in the first day of March, which we call the Victory Day. Most don't know this is the Victory Day because this is the day when the Battle of Adwa, when the Italians was going against the Ethiopians. My name is Ross Izes.
And I'm Rebel Witacause.
I'm Mr. Anderson.
And this is
the Think Champs. No doubt. We are in.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace and blessings, family. So yeah, we just checking in with ones, building on the true global topics we need to be focused on because we haven't been seeing the world for our own view. We've been seeing it in the eyes of other people, So we here now to go into global thinking. This is a global thinking reasoning we having in tonight,
Right.
And I want to keep it black, because in these places we live in America, we're taught to be seeing ourselves in which state we are in, but we're just in America.
Yeah.
So we don't get to see the world in its big, full pictures the way it is, because people have been thinking for us, over the years, So I want to get to some real topics about seeing this globe for ourselves. Okay, you see Africa, right? You see Africa. Yeah, this is Africa on the map. Now, Africa is actually the biggest continent on the planet. This is a fact, right? Africa is the biggest continent on the planet, but yet it's not the biggest portion of landmass on the map. Okay? Because people have been making maps for us and they've been deciding things for us to see and watch, But when we really stretch this thing out, because, they got flat screens, right? But we got to lay the map out flat. To really see it for what it is. Because, see, we have people thinking for us, right? But let me get to the real topic. I love Harriet, too, by the way. Big up Harriet Tubman. Big up Harriet Tubman. Because that was a strong black woman. She stood up for us as a soldier, man. Big up Harriet Tubman, man. Big up Harriet. Because Harriet now was very wise. Harriet left United Snakes. Yeah. But she knew that she was going to travel landmass, so what she did was she traveled up towards Canada. Right? So we hit America. She left America and went up towards Canada, another landmass now. Right? So now, all right, stay focused, people, right? So now the landmass, which was Africa, which is over here, which is ours, right? Here we are over here in America, right? They got us thinking that we have to cross this big body of water to get to this land. But that's pretty much impossible without ships and all those things, right? And the gravity of the water, right? But differently though, the land is here. So we use the U.S. as a border right here. We cross this border into Canada, right? After we cross into Canada, we go on Ukraine up in here into Alaska, right? After Alaska, there's a little bit of land and sea between there. It's a little bit of sea between there, right? Now, between that sea, which divides Alaska and Russia, is a little piece of landmass. So once you cross that little bit of land onto another landmass, you then get over here, right? Over here is still the same Alaska. See, the same America. You're crossing over, right? All this is landmass. Right? You see? So we can actually reach Africa from just traveling on this landmass. Because once you cross over Alaska into Russia, you are now in the mainland again. Which you can go down into China. We ain't going there. We know what's down there right now. We're going to keep it moving. Straight across, right through Russia. Right? We go through Turkey. They got no problem with black men, You know what I'm saying? We got no problem with none of these people,
Right.
We ain't nobody enemy, Our enemy is right here in ourselves. Let's state facts. So, once we get across this landmass, we are now traveling on land to the motherland. We can get to Africa by driving, on vehicle, believe it or not. You can take a little short boat across a little landmass and be in Africa, right? Through Russia and going on, across the Red Sea, up in Egypt, you did, in the motherland. And it's all land again, right? and which is the biggest land on the planet. Remember I tell you that now. They got Africa looking small, like you really took a long way to get there, but by the time you get, these are little tiny little places. You know what I'm saying? All this is little the biggest place artificially on it is Russia. Russia controls most portion of this land we would have to travel through. And we ain't got enemies with Russia. America has enemies with Russia. You know what I'm saying? We're not attacked by the Russians. You know what I'm saying? We're not at war. We don't share secrets with the Russians. The Russians see us and it's all good. You know what I mean? But people thinking for us, you know, the boss sick. We sick because the boss sick. You know, coronavirus, the boss sick, we sick. You know what I mean? We all right, boss? We working, boss? So boss said we can't work over there in Russia, then we can't work in Russia. But really, and the reality is, we don't have enemies. You know what I'm saying? The black man and woman is free to try throughout the land. So even when Harriet left United States and went into Canada, they greeted her with open arms. They didn't turn her back and say, look, oh, you coming from out of America, out of that place there that held you captive for years. Yeah. We're going to hold you back and send you back to the beach. No, they worked with her. And so it went on, and so it went on. The further you come out of America, you'll realize the negative captivity realms change. By the time you get over here, trust me, they loving you. Roman, Germany, all them places loving I and I as black people. You know what I'm saying? Forever and ever. Turkey. We don't have no enemies with the Turkish. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to cross their borders easily with no problems. You know what I mean? Worried about what the boss feeling and what the boss going through. But what we need to be realizing is that it's all landmass, and it can simply be moved upon if we thinking for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Is the main point. People have been thinking for us too long. We don't look. Here's Brazil. All right? Here's Brazil, right? Here's Africa, right? You can see how this will actually puzzle right up in here. You see that, right? Mm-hmm. You can see how this all puzzle up in here, right? Mm-hmm. You bring all this closer, you can see all this, puzzling in to this motherland, right? Now Brazil says Brazil has the most black Africans in the world besides Africa. Check the science of that. Now this is in the equator down here, you know what I'm saying, where we got heat. You know what I mean? This is the South Atlantic Ocean down here where they're in, right? So in the South Atlantic Ocean has the same tropical weather as Africa. So Brazil broke off from Africa and still remain the same down here, but when you see the Brazilian, you always see the light-skinned Brazilian. You don't see the black or black. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to see the beauty and the numbers of your people. You see what I'm saying? The whole focus is to make you see you in small numbers, but the world in massive. You know what I mean? Because we letting people think for us. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave it there. I like my spliff. But I appreciate y'all checking into the show, all checking in. Peace and blessings. We going in because we need to be thinking for ourselves. That's what the Think Champs about. Glad to have my people with me here. My partner, Rebel, Black at It. You know what I'm saying? Once again. My main man, Mr. Anderson, holding it up from day one. You know what I'm saying? And we building because this is us. And we want to build with y'all on some real topics about the global world. Hold on, Rebel. Build with him for a sec.
Peace, peace, family.
Peace, peace.
Shit, I just want to go home anywhere.
I know that's right.
North Africa, West Africa, South Africa, Egypt, definitely. We got to take our world back. We inherited the world, if you really want to look at it.
Right.
You know, so we letting everybody else run rampant. So we got to get our own land back and really start loving ourselves. So back to Africa at all costs, at any time, you know what I mean? We about to be in Ghana in a minute, you know what I mean? We gonna go check that out. But I wanna go home bad. And South America is ours. Canada is ours. Europe is ours, big up to the Moors. So when you say we could go all around the world, we don't got no beef, in a sense, that's true. If we look at it like from the ancient times to now, our people was everywhere.
That's a fact.
So go back to Europe. That's yours.
Yeah.
Them castles the Moors built, Go check them out. But now look at them like they yours. The Moors built those. Now do your research and figure out which ones they really built, and link in.
Right.
Go to Africa the same way. Go there looking to learn from cultures that you never heard of. That's yours.
Right.
You feel me?
Right,
Open
right.
up the whole gate. Because we got beef. The white man make us beef with Africans, and the Africans say, don't fuck with the niggas. I met Africans who say that, and I met Africans who say, come on, you crazy. Y'all my family.
Right.
So nah, we can't let the narrative, the world narrative, like even affect our thinking.
True.
Whatever they doing, we do the opposite. So blacks hate blacks, we love blacks.
Right.
Right. Whatever the narrative is, just do the opposite. But on the global scale, we gotta get global. You talking about?
We do the numbers. We do the numbers globally. We rule the world. That's a fact. Like if you do the numbers from the black people in Brazil,
Yes, sir.
you do the numbers from the black people in all the Caribbeans, and we talking. Look at this. You got to pull this thing out, stretch it out. Just watching that widescreen TV, that flat screen, flatten out a map so you can see the world for yourself. Remember, I tell you this. But check out these islands. All the islands are us. Mexico is even us. United States was really us in the beginning because the Arawak
Yeah.
Indians and all that, that's black people still. You can't even cross us out.
Yeah, the Blackfoot.
We've been here. But the point is, we've been all over the world, back and forth, teaching societies from all over the world from different times. Like, from the beginning of civilization, it started in Ethiopia. And here's the beautiful thing about it. Ethiopia's civilization still remains the same to this very day.
Facts.
This is why the European can't come with his full lie, because Ethiopia still exists and remains fully intact. With its spirituality, no one say their spirituality dates further back than the European spirituality.
Coptic
You know,
Christianity.
their cross, which is the straight up and down and side cross, was a copy of an Ethiopian cross, right? An Ethiopian cross, which is the original cross, all right? This
Zoom
is
in
the
on
Ethiopian
that.
cross, right? See, you see the man, what they do,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? They take what we do and make it like it's their thing,
Yo, you should get a chain.
all right? But the
should put
Ethiopian
that on
cross
the
has
chain.
much more significant architecture to it. And there's so many different crosses Ethiopia make, it's not even one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But it takes craftsmanship to make these crosses. It's not a simple westernized cross.
Is that the oldest design?
All of them, there's so many. Because look, that's one. I got one around my neck.
Do you know the oldest design?
Yeah.
No,
All of
I'm
them
just
are
asking.
named by different saints.
Okay.
So different saints have different crosses, you know?
Oh,
And
okay.
it's always been like that way from Ethiopia. So they symbolize different saints. So my point is saying that the oldest foundation of creation is Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is black people, which is us. You know, they can't take us out the mix. You know what I'm saying? They can blind us and make we think we're different.
Yeah.
But the reality is they can't take the color out of an Ethiopian.
That's right.
You know, as long as you're Ethiopian, you will remain black. You know, so black people have to know their full land and where they come from. You know what I mean, and their full glory, because that's when you return to your real heritage. You know what I mean? Your real heritage dates back from the beginning of civilization, and that's heritage. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no shortcut from being the first
Nah,
man
say
and
it.
first woman. You know what I mean? So when you
Before
get-
all other civilizations.
the original.
So
the
understand that.
European came now, and what he did was he took everything that he knew, which was truth, and copied it and took it on to himself. Right? So most people now don't realize that before all these other things was going on, most people were Christians or later on became Muslims. Those were the two dominant forces of spirituality within the planet. Was
At them times. Yes.
Christianity
Or
and
Islam.
Islam, right? But they both dwell side by side in Ethiopia from that time even till this very day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no war against an Ethiopian or a Christian and a Muslim. You see what I'm saying? Because they all are bearing faith. You know what I'm saying? So they're brothers, right? But now the European westernized world want us to get caught up in thinking that these are terrorists, you know what I'm saying? That these are bad people. But the reality is they mimic
Mujahideen.
everything that they see, right? So now they come with all they other religions, which was coming into the Roman time. The Romans came now and they said, okay, we hear what you're doing, but we want to do our own thing, you know? And make it like they glorifying the Most High same way, but they came with their own tricks.
The pagans.
With the whole pagan religions, like
Yes,
you're
sir.
saying, and all that, the whole pagan holidays and all that, they came with their tricks. So what we had to do now is realize that our anciency has never been tampered with. You know what I'm saying? As much as they trying to say that they came in and did this, but they put new faces on stuff. So most people check, say, okay, them faces don't resemble me, then I can't relate to it. But you got to realize that most of the first writers, or all the writers, were black anyway, because it had to be. We were writers. White man was not
That's a
writing. We
fact.
taught the white man to write. So if we taught the right man to write, we had to be the one that's writing, right? Bottom
Yeah.
line. So
Oh, all right.
the way
Now
they
you
got
got
it told is like
I got you.
they doing most of writing. You got it?
Yeah.
Good thing. So they doing most of writing. You know what I mean? So we got to follow their script. But the reality is we got to go black to the original script and see it for ourselves. What's really real? Like again, most of the people on the planet are black. If you even do the history and science, like I said, Brazil is a big portion of Africans, right? Black people in the world, right? Next portion is all the Caribbeans, right? That's all black. You don't see white people in none of the Caribbeans. All the U.S. Virgin Islands, all that's black, right?
Right.
Now, going over towards China, China got their civilization from us. Because it wouldn't take us long to reach China. It's all landmass. You see what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So on landmass, we walk and taught the Chinese man everything. You know what I mean? And he still kept the original ways of the culture and preserved it. But his ways was even older than the Europeans. You
He's
see what I'm
second.
saying? Yeah, 'cause
Nah,
they
he's
want to give him
second.
props.
He's second
You know
on
what
the
I'm
list.
saying? They make
You,
him, now he's another
the
terrorist.
Asian, then the
You know what I mean?
Arab,
But
then the white
end of
man.
the day is, the Asians was always respectable to us as in our original state. You know what I'm saying? This is what we got to realize. We're not in our original state. No one's going to respect us not in our original state. He'll give you an example. I like my split for this one. But this is real, right?
Yeah, let me get that light too.
A man go into a store, right? And you've seen him. He go into the store, corner store, right? The Chinese man own the store, right? But he behind the register, right? The man go in the store, go down a few aisles, grab some chips and grab whatever. He want 2 blunts from behind the counter. You know what I'm saying? But now he go to the cash register, right? But his pants is sagging down. His pants is nowhere on his waist. His pants damn near on his ankles, his kneecaps, right? So he's digging in his ankles for his change.
Homo thug shit.
You seen him, right? You seen him. Y'all seen him, right? So he there on his ankles looking for his change because his pants so low and he can't hold his pants up. And he come out his pocket and he's short, right? He's short. Now, he only short like 3 pennies, right? Now, in his mind, yo, I shop here all the time. I'm giving you all kind of money. I constantly coming through here. You know, you can let me go for those little pennies, right? That's in his mind. But deep so in the Chinese man mind, he's saying, you silly African. You taught me everything about this whole number game, this whole science and merchandise and all these things. I learned this from you. You're the original teacher. And now you don't want to pay me for what I'm worth? But yet I paid you for this knowledge? Because remember, say they paid us first, you know. Everybody had to pay us for our knowledge. King Solomon just didn't get rich just because, you know what I'm saying, he had money. He was rich because of his wisdom. You know what I mean? They sought I and I for our wisdom, and they had to pay us for it. Because the slogan goes, and it's the word of wisdom, it says, the slogan goes, if you have something, right? Right? So like if I have something now, right? Which is a talent, whatever it is, right?
Gotcha.
You make money off it, right? Not by just giving it away, right? By what you crafting it off of, right? So the slogan, which is an ancient way of living, is like either you're gonna pay for it, you know what I'm saying, in cash, or you're gonna have somebody you're gonna have to pay for it. Either you're gonna make it or you're gonna have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's a slogan where is that you gotta realize in time, either you're gonna be the one that pay. The slogan goes exactly, it goes, he who has it will not have to pay, but he who doesn't have it will have to pay. Right? And this is knowledge. This is what knowledge is. You know what I mean? Knowledge is something that you have to have. But if you don't have the knowledge of something, then you're going to have to pay for that. You know what I mean? And this is what the whole world had to do in the original state. They had to pay us for our knowledge. Even to this day, people will actually pay you for your knowledge. This is the actual fact, right? Okay, so this was the actual state of us. We were in that high state of mind, of being, that people literally sought us for our knowledge and figured that we had to figure things out for people.
Right.
You know what I mean? How do we put this building together? Back in the day, black men had so much skills is where they were putting material together without nails. Without nails,
Alchemy.
because they knew how to wedge the wood together. So when the wood locked in and joined together, there was nothing else needed. You know what I mean? And these are how our ancient family members had built and did things. You know what I'm saying? Because the ancient way was, we were craftsmen. We were skilled with our hands. You know
The
what I mean?
real Masons.
The real Masons. You know what I mean? So they had to come to us for this knowledge. You know what I mean? Even Washington, D.C. All that was built and designed by who? The black man. You know what I mean? It was Benjamin Banneker who designed the whole Washington, D.C., the buildings you see and everything, that whole layout of the state of, I mean, it's not even a state, right? Yeah, it's like a district,
It's a
right?
district.
Yeah, that's how wicked they are, man. But anyhow, because they ain't gonna pay taxes and none of. You see how wicked they are? So everything is exempt for them. You know, just as long as you near the White House, you know. But differently though. My point is saying though is that we designed it.
You built the White House
All
too.
architecture from us.
You built the White House too.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
y'all built the
original
White House
architect.
too.
Let me see the letter. The original architect, right? Here's science and history. The original architect, his name was Noah. Yeah, we done it now. Get that. The original architect, his name was Noah. Now, they wanted you to think that Noah was a drunk, you know what I'm saying? He had no sense, you know what I mean? Laying around drinking grapes and stuff and wine and all that. But the realness is, Noah was a wise, intelligent, noble man who spoke to the Most High personally. But differently though, Noah was also the original architect because he built the ark. Right? That's where the word architect come from. The ark itself, because nothing else was architect ever on the planet before the ark. You know what I mean? So that's a little science and history, you know what I mean? Because we come from greatness, you know what I mean? They said we in Black History Month. I said Happy Black History Month. All last month to people, you know. Yeah. Every day last month I said Happy Black History Month. Right. People said, you know what they said to me, right? Oh, it's Black History Month 365. I said, yeah, well, we got 366 this year. Yeah. So right now I'm still saying Happy Black History Month. Because I ain't going to let it die. If y'all want to do it like that, y'all don't want to respect the little 28, 29 we got, then I'm going to ride out heavier for you. It's going to be 366. So it's Happy Black History Month. We have to be saying that to one another.
Happy Black History Month, my family.
That's right.
Because here what happened. We have to break this mental chain that we under, this mental whip. You know what I mean? There was a time in Kenya where the Kenyans wanted to, you know, free up themselves from the captivity they was under, right? Mm-hmm. And Kenya got free from them fighting for their freedom, right? But they had a science behind how they fought for their freedom, which was so significant. And if you ever go to Kenya and you see, they got the story written on some tablets of what happened. But what happened was they had a code that they did. They said they did the code for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? This is what they passed on for 10 years to one another. Mm-hmm. So all the sisters and the brothers would not look each other eye in eye You know what I'm saying? But they would still pass things to one another. Like, okay, because, there was some men in that time which was called the Mau Maus, which was the warriors. So they was like hitting out, Nati dreadlock, ruthless men who was taking out white men. You know what I'm saying, in Kenya, but they was hiding out. So the actual people of the land couldn't say like they seen the Mau Mau. So they had a code where you don't look at them, you turn your head and you pass whatever you have to them without seeing them in the face. So if the white man asks you, have you seen one of them, you would say, no, you haven't, because really you haven't.
Power.
Right? But here's the science now. The code to the word was they would pass one another a thing to each other, and they would say to each other, yeah, it's true. They said, the white man must die. Yes, the white man must die. And they go on about their way. That was it. Just those one sound. They had to do that for 10 years.
Power.
To actually break the mental whip on their mind frame. You know what I'm saying? To be in captivity.
We should do that now.
Die. Yes, he must burn out of our land. Our land must be free. Yes, it must be free. Free for the people. Fire for the white man.
Wow.
And these were sounds that we said just to greet and pass one another. You see what I'm saying? To build that mental state to know that this is our land. We need to be free on our land, and we have to burn out the ones that's keeping us captive.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So the same form of whipping, even deeper we are in this state right now. Because to even say you're African or to say you Ethiopian just because of who you are and the national, what a geographic part of land you are, you have to be subjected to not saying that. You see what I'm saying? You have to be subjected to being a Jamaican, from the Caribbean. You have to be from any place else but your original state, which is the African or the Ethiopian. You see what I'm saying? But yet the Chinese man don't do that. No matter wherever he travel in the earth, he's still a Chinese.
The Arab don't do that.
You know what I mean? None of them. You know what I'm saying? Only us as a people literally get somewhere, and that's who we are, as opposed to being from our original core. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why supremacy did that.
Right.
Wherever they left you, you took the tag, right? So if you stayed in the islands, you Jamaican. If you came to the north from slavery, I guess you in the north. You from New York, or you from the south. So OG status, yeah. You got to think from the past, man. We got to go black to the future.
Truth and words. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Mr.
Anderson.
So, yeah, one thing I would say is, we need to explore Africa more and see it for ourselves. Because, you could just pick somewhere on the map and find yourself in a more digressed political situation than you in right now. So it's good information and places to travel where they really still inviting of us and want to see the brothers be successful and come to a place of freedom, so to speak. The brother that sing Jadena, he talk about 85 to Africa in his album, and he talk about how he want to make it more comfortable for us to, in our culture, to go back to see what's in Africa and what's available to us. Like they have beautiful homes, beautiful yards, all kind of stuff.
It's ready.
But yeah, and you don't have to like all or nothing here and go there. You keep a transit to where you can go back and forth, and you can that'll make you more powerful here.
That's the gateway.
You know what I'm saying?
Because see, the whole fullness really is to leave this country and be in Africa, living and visiting everywhere else. Places, not living in these places.
Yeah.
We got to return, because you look at it, this is something they don't tell you too, is that Africa in itself is free for us. You know what I'm saying? To purchase and buy land. Just like how you buying houses over here with all the bricks and all that, 500,000. You can literally buy land in Africa, build your home, mansion at that.
Nice.
And live on it forever. Nobody coming and say you have to move off your land. We building something through here. You know, we found natural resources under here. We gonna tear that up. You gotta move. You know what I mean? It's your land. This is the part they don't show us. What the European do? When he leave this country, when he make his money, he goes and lives in the Virgin Islands or somewhere. The Cayman, he goes lives in countries where he know his money can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, work him better. But to be here with us, nah, they ain't here. They visiting here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. They visiting here. We looking at this thing captive here. You know what I'm saying? And not realizing that all the natural resources is in the land. So we got to get to that state of saying, okay, look, let me invest my time and resources in Africa and see what it's going to benefit. You know what I mean? Because that's really the fullness of the world. Like, honestly, if we're not keeping up with Africa right now, we honestly behind. We actually are in the past, because Africa's the future. Don't let them lie to you. Don't believe the lies. Africa is on the rise. Remember, I tell you that. Don't believe the lies. Africa is on the rise. You know what I mean? And it's going through all kind of ways with even in the culture. Look at Akon. Look at the abilities he's opening up for young people. And this is something y'all don't know too. A lot of people in Africa don't have the power of electricity like y'all have over here, wastefulness all day and night, you know what I mean? In certain parts of Africa, the power and current just be out. You know what I mean? It don't come back to a certain time. It might not be out back all this week. You know what I mean? You can't even imagine this type of life. You know what I'm saying? But these things go on in pockets of Africa all the time. So what Akon did was he making it possible for more people to utilize electricity, right? And power. But here's the key. A lot of those students who don't have electricity still studying by candlelight. Reading and writing by candlelight, getting their work done. You see what I'm saying? But now, with this opportunity that Akon is bringing, you know what I'm saying? Now they're able to get more work done. You see what I'm saying? In the daytime as opposed to, you know, working all night and not being able to get the more chores done. So they're more on a bigger level because they're still working with their hands. See, in America, they got us so pampered. You know what I mean? You wash your clothes always in the laundromat. You know what I mean? You don't even know if clothes can wash by hand no more. That's not even a reality.
What is that?
That's not even a reality. Wash clothes by hand. You know? But I'm gonna show you the thing is that you got to know how to survive, man. You know? The thing is, people forgot how to survive. They depend on all these little material things and ready to push a button to this. You know what I mean? And
microwave.
Touch the screen and roll up and down. But the end of the day is utilizing your hands to be creative. Africans are doing that still. You know? Look how many clothes now coming out of Africa. Look how many black people wearing African clothes now more than ever. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
It's growing, you know what I'm saying, on a major scale. Now we taking it to the point now that we need to be investing in the land. They opening up borders now. Ghana is opening up right now where they have dual citizenship for all Africans who want to return home, you know. So the gate is open. We just got to be ready to walk through there because we came through there. Remember, say there was a place they called the gates of no return. Remember that, you know, people, they have a gate called the gate of no return.
West Africa, right?
Yeah, that's where they took the slaves to carry them off into the land beyond. Most of them went into the Caribbean and down in, like you said, Brazil, because it was an easier travel. Because you can see how easy a person can reach Brazil. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to going all the way here. You see what I'm saying? Drop them off. You know what I mean? So we were getting dropped off. You know what I mean? Shiploads of. So the end of the day is, will we return? And do we want to return? And why don't we want to return? Because we've been brainwashed to hate ourselves and hate our motherland. Right now, a person tell you, say you got ugly hair, right? And it's always some real black, coarse hair that's the ugly hair, right?
Most beautiful, powerful,
right?
too.
But that's African hair, though. The more coarse it gets, the more African it is. That's the more stronger, you know what I mean? The more...
You define gravity.
Right?
Black hair defies
But
gravity.
it got you making you think, say, the next hair, the blonde, the weave, and all this stuff is the good hair, right? You want
The
Brazilian
dead
hair.
straight
You want all this
horsehair.
that's not of your own. So they're getting you to hate yourself and hate where you're from. It's so deep to the point now is that most people don't even really spend time loving themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, really. Because loving yourself is in your true state of self, right? Loving yourself can't be loving the image that you put on. You know what I'm saying? Loving yourself is loving the true image that you're made in, right? So if we're never in the true image that we made in, how can we really be loving ourselves? You know what I mean? We constantly running from the true image we made in. So therefore, it keeps us out of the mind state of wanting to return to our natural state.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
What's the image that they do see?
The fake up. Yeah, everything is fake up. You know, they call it makeup. I call it fake up. You know, it's just faked up. You know what I mean? And that's the image they showing us is the fake up. But like I said, all them things came from Rome. The first person who put on makeup was a man. It was a Roman man who played in a stage play, right? What they did was they had stage plays and all the characters were men. So the men had to wear makeup like a woman to act on stage because they didn't want women on stage. You see what I'm saying? Or in any plays. You see what I'm saying? So the first people who wore makeup were men. Remember I tell you these things, man. Babylon thinking for you make you think these things is for you. You ain't come from none of that. Your natural beauty is beauty enough. Your smile is beautiful in any makeup, any fake up. Just smile.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Take care of your teeth, man. That's your beauty right there. You're born with beauty.
Facts.
Yeah. But that's the heights of it, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, it's wild. But we got some moringa out here, though.
Yeah.
We got some moringa, man. I see the moringa, man. This is the real moringa right here.
Looks sweet.
And I'm telling you, but this thing now, it's a bittersweet thing. This is the actual pill. See, when most people, when they see the moringa, they just seeing some green stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they don't realize that's really the tree, which is the leaves, you know what I'm saying? The moringa really is supposed to be an actual pod like this here, which look like more like a big okra or something, you know what I mean? But inside here is the pods, which they sell, which is the moringa pods, right? So when you break this open, where you find the moringa seeds. Now this right here has many benefits, you know what I'm saying? Oh, for sure, you need that, you know what I'm telling you. But now this is gonna make that neem tea sweet though. Like you know how the neem tea is bitter? Yeah, this will make it sweet. You know what I'm saying? So we sipping on moringa seeds and neem tea up in here. Strong drinks, you know? No soft drinks, you know? For real. So you take the seed and you bust it out the pod, and then you get the actual moringa seed. This is our original way we tried it. We bust seeds and bust nuts, you know? Because most things we ate in our original state was finger food. It's things we can pick with our fingers and eat off trees, berries, and fruits, vegetables, you know what I mean? We picked everything from the earth. So it kind of looked like a pill too. You know what I mean? The natural pill. Right? So you pop that. Yeah. And you want to sip on. Oh, yeah. And it's a very bitter sip too. And what you need too is neem tea mixed moringa. It was moringa neem tea. Very bitter, very strong for the bloodstream. Neem is good for the bloodstream. Tastes like a natural sweet drink. Bitter as it is. Can't even taste the bitter.
Nice.
But you need the bitter. Because life get bitter too. And you want everything sweet. That's the problem. You got to deal with the polarities of life, you know? You got to take the bitter and the sweet together. So we there. We on the bitter and the sweet sip because the word sound we've been speaking is bitter. You know what I'm saying? But it'll get sweet to your mind once it soak in, you know what I mean? Yeah, sweet to you. So that's where we at, man. Sipping on the bitter sip, burning some natural herbs in our natural state. This is what we're supposed to be building on. Because again, like I said, we got to start thinking global. That's stop long time for people thinking for us. Like I said, we need to travel across this body of land. We need to be formulating ourselves to leave up out of here by vehicle. You know? By vehicle. And this can be done easy, man. Ain't no problem, man.
Africa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, now y'all could imagine that. That's a good imagination right there for you. Imagine traveling to Africa. Because Harriet was already on it. Remember I tell you, Harriet was already on it. Big up Mama Africa and big up Mama Harriet. Because she already knew that she wasn't having to go across this water. All she had to do was get up out of this state and keep it moving. Because as long as she touching land, you know, she was going to be all right. That's the mission. So thinking for ourselves, we can accomplish these goals. Even leaving the United States, going down here to Brazil, it's still a ride. You see that, right? Mm-hmm. That's just a ride. Panama City, oh, that's just a ride.
You right there.
You riding, baby. So land got us thinking. Look at it. Australia down here, a little piece of water right there. They cross over that bomb. They in Indonesia. All this land mass, man. You think our people was waiting for ships when we could have walked land? I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm going to a next portion of the land. That's all it was. But the way they got it broken down, so many borders and barriers, you think and say, oh, we stuck right here in America. But sit here in America, they be done build a border around you so you can't get out. You know what I'm saying? They building borders around you so you can't get out, but literally you can. It's just a border. The crossover into Canada is nothing but land. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You'd be a fool to try to go across a little water. All right?
That's a fact.
So we got to start thinking for ourselves, man, and get black to it, man. Become these real true navigators that we was across the earth, you know?
That's a fact. So subscribe to Think Champs, y'all. Help us out. You know, we need the support.
That's real. Yeah, man. We got to have more reasonings like this, you know, just so we can get ourselves stronger as a people, knowing that we have unity. You know, we got to put our numbers together. This is what Marcus and all the great leaders did. They put the numbers together. Marcus knew that there were 400 million black men and women on the planet. He knew the numbers. He did the math of how many was in Brazil, how many is in the United States, how many is in the Caribbean, you know? And he put the numbers together and realized, say, wait, we 400 million strong. But yet they got us separated like we a little 80 over here, a little 250,000 over here, you know what I mean? But the reality is, we hundreds and thousands of strong across the planet.
We billions.
You know?
We got 1 billion in Africa. Mm-hmm. Right now.
So how you feel about setting up like the global trade, the different currencies, and, you know, opening up or getting in the business market?
Yeah, I think that's really for us really to do already. We're just not organized. You know, we have to organize our bucks, man, because at the end of the day, there's so much of our money going out, and we're not pulling anything together. If you check any of these blockbuster films that's out, you know what I mean, how much money that we spend in these blockbuster films to make them blockbusters. We talking about millions of dollars, right? You know what I mean? We take that money alone and just pull that little change, which was nothing about $15 to $20 a seat, you know what I mean? We take that little money we ain't doing nothing but playing with anyway, and pull it together. Then we can see our power. The problem with us is, and this is the funny part, but it's the true part. You know what I'm saying? The problem with us is we fight before we even get to the money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't made no money yet, but yet we all fighting and mad and scuffling with one another. But we ain't made no money. The European don't think that way.
Nah.
They fight, but they fight after the money made, though. They fight, trust me, but the money already made. You know what I'm saying? The plan was already set. Then they fight. You know what I mean? But they stay to the plan. You know what I mean? And get the money. We got to realize that we need to put our money together and stop the war and fighting. You know what I mean? And put these powers. Because look at it simple, right? Look right now. Ain't nobody broke right now. Income tax drop. Ain't nobody broke right now, right?
Okay.
But we're not pulling none of that money together. That money's going right back out into the same economy.
Jordans and
All that's going in right now. Things we missed out on, we grabbing all that right now off the shelf by the hundreds, right? Because the money in the check is dropped, right? But if we took that money and put together from all those checks that's dropped, we can build our own city.
That's a fact.
We could build our own city. You're talking about $5,000 per head. Even if we said, okay, now we just gonna put 500 towards that. We could build our own city, bro. You see what I'm saying? But we're not organized. We fight so much and bicker over the little small things and don't see the bigger picture of things, the unity of things. You know what I mean? And that's what all other nations do. They come together and they put theirs together to make what the plan is happen. You know what I mean? We never really stepped up to the plate and made nothing happen together. Said, look, and the sad part about it is that we have it more than we had before.
Right.
We got much more now than we ever had. But yet, we don't pull it together.
Physically. Not spiritually or mentally, though.
Well, that's the difference.
I know.
You know, the difference is we had less physically, but we had more spiritually. Like I'm saying, like, okay, for instance, the technology, we were building technology. Remember, all these things came from us. Now we waiting for somebody to put something out. You know what I'm saying? For us to go
What's the next one?
You know what I mean? So,
Sad.
once we start investing in ourselves again, in our own products that we build, you know what I'm saying, that we know bona fidely that we build, we good. That's the real reality. We're not really using this money supporting our own. Just imagine if we had even just one, not say all, just one flat screen that we made, that we all buy. You know what I'm saying? It's a win game. You know what I'm saying? For us. But we go out and spend the most on something else somebody else made.
Yo, what's that black phone we was talking about?
Oh man, that's the
Figures.
I'm still striving to get the Figures phone, and I will get it too. I'm working on that, which is the Figures phone.
Yeah, big up Figures phone.
Yeah, big up Freddie Figures, man. Big up Freddie Figures, man, because Freddie Figures
in a minute.
is the main brother that I gotta respect and big up because he put out a cell phone. He put out a cell phone called the Figures 3, right? The Figures Wireless 3. Now this thing now is better than any phone out there, you know, but they ain't talking about it. They don't want you to even know about it. Why? Because a black man created it, you know? So check it out. Pull it up online too. Figures 3 or the F3 phone. It's made by a brother named Freddie Figures. This is like his third phone he out to now. It's also ready to accept the 5G. The phone is come with everything in it, you know. Very, very fast, high tech. I'm actually about to get the phone myself and let go of these people's phone. So we'll have that here soon for you, revealing that, the Figures phone. But big him up, check him out, because it's something we should be supporting. And if you didn't know a little history about the phone, the cell phone, it was a black man who actually invented the very first cell phone.
That's a factory.
And his name was called Henry Sampson. Henry Sampson built the first very cell phone. The one with the flip, the original joint, was a black man who invented it. His name was Henry Sampson. And the cell phone actually has been out since the 70s. You know, when we really check science and history, the cell phone was created in, what, 72, 71, 72, around that time there. So it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the military had it first.
Right, but at the end of the day, it was still nothing new. We already invented it. The black man name, I said, was Henry Sampson, right? Henry Sampson built the first cell phone. But what's the Chinese man cell phone company name? Don't he have a company named Samsung?
Samsung, yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Do the math to that.
So he honoring the black man without you even knowing.
Nah, he thieving that.
He thieving it, but he's still honoring it without you even knowing because he's calling it
His song.
the Samsung.
All right. You want me to take Vegan Dream and turn it into Egan Dream and take your whole joint? You gonna think I'm bigging you up?
No, I ain't saying that. I mean, I'm on that point.
I know.
Nah, but I'm just saying the simple point is they know where the science came from.
Well, the science will show itself. Think about it. The essence will show itself. He still had to name it after him. Even though I'm saying he stole it or whatever, he still named it after him.
Yeah.
Can't
And we don't
name
even know it.
nothing else.
A lot of stuff is like that. It's hidden jewels, you know?
Yeah.
They play stuff right in your face because they know you don't know the signs and the symbols where they originally come from, and they make it like it's a bad thing. You know, like the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? They take everything and make it bad so you don't see the pure joy in these beautiful things, the signs and the wonders of a rainbow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
It's-
it's attached to something.
Yeah, it's attached to something that make you think something different. Hitler has a SWAT sticker that he made,
But
and they attach it to something, make it bad, but really that's actually an Ethiopian symbol.
yes, sir.
It's actually, and it's another cross too,
Yes, sir.
because all those are natural symbols that came from Ethiopia, which they took. The Mercedes-Benz symbol is an Ethiopian symbol. Yeah, enough ones don't even know that. But that symbol that the Mercedes-Benz have is actually a Ethiopian symbol too. So they take these things, like I said, they took the cross and came in with their cross and made it like it's their thing. But they're not going to tell you, no, we actually copied that cross from the Ethiopian Coptic cross. They ain't going to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Because then you would have to pay homage to the originators of everything. So we keep that out the picture. You know what I mean? Let them see the picture that we're painting. Space aliens. All you out there, focus on space aliens. You ain't never seen no alien nowhere but on no screen, right? But you really think they're real. This is how foolish they got our time. We spending our time. You know what I'm saying? They can say a space alien came from space and built something that we were here already and didn't do. They came from space and built the pyramids.
Yeah, they rather say the aliens did it
They said
than
the aliens built
us.
the pyramids.
Come
So
on.
the black man and woman wasn't intelligent enough, and we already here not to do these things. You know, it don't make no sense, right? So
If you think about it.
yeah, we thinking we good, but we ain't thinking. They thinking for us. We like, oh, we waiting for something to beam us up.
Then you ain't thinking about it.
Here the first flat screen TV, the first, cause see, y'all think TV and all this stuff new. The very first flat screen, you know what that was, right?
Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek was the very
There we go.
first flat screen. When Kurt sat there, he touched a few buttons, and someone popped on the screen and be like, hold on, we in another planet.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a fact.
The first computer, remember the black lady on the computer over there? What was she doing?
Typing something.
And we what was that, 70s?
Hold on, before that, what was the joint for your ear? What was that joint people used to put in their ear?
The headphone joint?
Yeah, like for your phone.
Yeah.
Nah, is that a Bluetooth?
Oh, the Bluetooth thing. Yeah.
She had one of those.
Yeah, she did.
Remember that?
Yeah, she did. Yep, she did. Wireless and everything.
All that.
You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing new that they created. You know what I'm saying? It's all.
Hold up, that flip phone. What about his little joint he used to
That was a flip phone. All that was right there. The flip phone, the flat screen, the Ed piece, all that was invented. And he had the ray gun joint, right?
They ain't put that out yet.
But I mean, you know, end of the day is that's them Hollywood, because you know they build weapons. You know what I'm saying?
They probably
It's
got it.
war
then.
weapons. We all the time we on Earth, we ain't never built one pistol or one weapon yet. You know what I mean? But yet we still living peaceful on the earth all this time until they come up with their war weapons. Because that's what America do build. I give them that. They do build war weapons. You know,
Russia got war weapons. Israel got war weapons.
They good with guns.
Europe got war weapons.
They want us to practice the guns like it's our thing, and we see us walking around with guns and all this stuff, but we ain't shooting no one but ourselves. That's the sad part. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that we have guns and we turning them on one another. You know, I hate the fact that we have guns and we turn them on.
Self-hate.
Why have a gun if you know you're gonna kill your brother? Is that your mission for a gun? You don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I can see if you're defending your family, you know what I'm saying, defending your life, but you're going to kill, using a gun to kill the next black man. Without thinking. And then when it's time, you throw the gun up and your hands up in the air, you know what I'm saying, and you're ready to get turned right in.
Yeah.
But you took an innocent life for nothing, with no thought. So that's the reason why we don't need guns. We need to get black to reasoning, going a little hands, fist to fist, you know what I'm saying? And you realize you ain't that tough, you know?
Or it ain't that bad to get beat up.
Bad, and you realize, say, wait, I lived another day, you know what I mean?
Good.
Yeah, and everything good. But the way things are going now, we trusting these European weapons, we killing one another without a thought, you know what I mean? And it's sad for the young generation because they ain't realizing the value of life. They never got a chance to realize the value of life because they're using these weapons as like an identity to, like, you know, protect themselves. I'm tough, I'm bad, you know what I mean? Because I got a gun. Because all it does is it build an ego. If you have a pistol on your waist, you got a serious ego, you know. Nobody can't tell you nothing.
If anything arise.
And you waiting for anything to arise. You're sitting there plotting on something to arise. It's sad. You ever been around somebody with a pistol on them?
Of course.
They be scared and nervous. They be like, something just happened. You seen that? Where he coming from? You know, they be so scared. But you got the big pistol. I was in a ride with an Uber driver the other day, right? An Uber driver, you know, 'cause I ride Uber, right? Uber driver tell me, man, because there was a water bottle on the passenger seat in the back seat, right? And I'm like, who left their water bottle here? He like, oh, that was the person before you. A lady was in her back seat, and she jumped in the back seat, and she was like, pulled out a gun and was like, you mind if I load my pistol? And the driver like, well, you got your gun. It ain't loaded yet? You need to load your pistol?
What you going to do?
What you really doing? So he's like, all right, go load your pistol. You know what I'm saying? It makes me no difference. You know what I'm saying? If you got to load it, you really ain't know what you're doing with it anyway, because you're supposed to have it loaded, right? If you got it.
Wow.
Ready, right? But now she's coming out, want to load her pistol. Mind state already in a rage. You know what I'm saying? You already know where that's going. There's no one else outside of us she's going to take care of. You know that, right? You know. So, because she got a pistol. You know what I'm saying? So this whole thing is, with us with these pistols, man, it's really not for us, man. We really need to pick up Bibles, man, books, man. If I could see y'all walk with some books, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? Then a person's weapon, because with a book, you actually can teach someone something. You know what I mean? You can learn something from a book. Can you hit that for me real quick? I'm gonna steal it real quick too. But yeah, these are books that we need to be focused on too.
Right.
Shared his story.
Yeah. Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was on there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Keep coming.
You know how that goes, it's AT. But nah, that's real. It's like we got to get black into it. Just picking up these books again and letting go of these weapons, man, because it's going to benefit us in the long run. We need to be learning from one another. You know what I'm saying? We need to be teaching one another things again and being able to accept learning from each other. You know what I'm saying? Not being so closed-minded to share knowledge and quick to just rush on to the next thing, as opposed to soaking in some energy and some real knowledge. You know what I mean? We get black to that, we good, you know? But right now, everything is in a fast mind state. Like, we need to do this, we got to do this, I got to go. Microwave. So if I come to your house, right, in the 90s, right, and you had your computer up, and I be like, I got something to do, but you be like, hold on, I want you to see something. You know what I mean? And you put the computer up, and it's moving real slow. Remember they used to call it the turtle? You know what I'm saying? It's moving like a turtle, a dinosaur even is so slow, right? And you still trying to pull stuff up. 15, 20 minutes go by, I'm looking at my clock like, Yeah, but I got stuff to do, you know. I can't sit here and, you know what I mean? And 20 minutes gone, 25, I'm like, yo, I gotta go. I'm out. And he'd be like, you ain't show me nothing. But fast forward that into 2020 now, you plug that thing up, 5 windows open at one time, you're showing me this, you're showing me that. I'm there for an hour now. Stuff I had to get done didn't get done. You know what I mean? But I'm still watching and dealing with this thing for an hour, so I'm captivated by the screen, but time is still passing, so I didn't get a chance to really utilize the time for what it was supposed to be used for. You see what I'm saying? That's because we living in this microwave time. We think and say we actually doing something by just looking at a screen. You know what I'm saying? The full thing is to be able to listen. You know what I mean?
Experience.
Comprehend something as you're moving. Back in the day, we had the Walkman. You know what I'm saying? You could be walking, you know what I'm saying, and still making things move. You could be working and listening to your Walkman. You know what I mean? So it was still a portion of you still moving and you're still getting things done. Now with the screen in your face now all day, you think you're getting something done, but you wasting time. You see what I'm saying? When that time could be utilized doing something physical and something real. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, this is we gonna seal it up pretty soon, you know. Thankful for all checking in, man, and building with us for this little time, you know. We gonna do it again and again, every strong till we just thinking stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. You know what I mean? For ourselves, because we have to, you know what I mean? We gotta break the narrative of the chains that's on our mental brain right now, you know what I mean? Which is the strongest captivity, right? Is the brain.
Chain on the brain.
Because the realest people to me is a person that can free their mind. You know? That's the freest person, because now, right now in jail, they got most of our black political prisoners still locked up. You know what I mean? To this day, right? But it's their mind that's free. You know what I'm saying? That's keeping them free, man, free all of them. We gotta free every black person in jail, because them men that stood for what was right. Look at Matulu right now. My brother Matulu, and I feel it. Big up to Matulu too, man, because he been locked down all these years and holding it firm, you know what I'm saying, for the truth, you know, and now he's suffering with this little cancer vibration. We gonna burn that out too, but he's suffering with that because of being in the system too long. And they know he's suffering, right?
Yeah,
and this is how they do. They wait till they know that you don't have but a certain amount of time to live, then they let you out.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to die in their system, you see, and they have to be responsible for it, you know. So we have to realize that our brothers and sisters that's locked down, we got to give them more respect, you know what I mean, because they suffered for our freedom right now, you know what I'm saying, to be able to walk and talk and do what we do.
That's a fact.
So big up to all them black brothers and sisters locked down for just standing up for truth, because that's what we have to defend. No matter if we got to go to jail or whatever, we going to stand for it. Because like the brother said, if we ain't got them mad at us for something, then we really ain't doing nothing.
Facts.
You know?
That's a fact.
Yeah. So we'll seal it up, man. Give thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all letting me on the platform, you know, just being in the conversation, because like you say, the free mind is probably the most potent weapon. And you know, we have to talk about a lot of topics that just jar your memory or get you thinking in another direction. But I'm happy. I love what I see. I participate and support the brother here because he has you know, come a long way in the community, and his product is sought after, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's always a lovely situation. We just have so many thorns in our side, so to speak, you know what I mean? So we just plucking them out and hoping that everybody else can get involved with the conversation and want to pluck them out, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. That's real. All right, give thanks, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, give thanks for this time, man, building with y'all. And remember, it's Black History Month every month. So show love to your people, support your people every day. This is what we got to start doing, because we got to change the narrative, you know what I mean? We can't be celebrating these people days more than we celebrating ourselves, you know? And it's so much that we have to be thankful for, you know what I mean, that we have done and created and build upon. So we got to stay focused, stay black, stay positive, stay strong, you know, and love Mama Africa first, man, you know. Yes, indeed. Break all those mental chains, you know.
Baby.
Yes,
And this
indeed.
is
The Think Champs. Peace and love.
Yeah.
Black Power.